Hi, good morning. My name is Beth. If you're new to my channel, I am a Triple Crown Thru-hiker. I've hiked across the country 3 separate times on the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, and the Continental Divide Trail, totaling 8,000 miles. I finished my last trail about 10 years ago, and now I'm an avid just weekend warrior backpacker. Yeah, and I'd like to take you along. So I'm actually getting ready for a 4-day trip in the Flat Top Wilderness in Colorado. It's June. We had kind of a low snow year, so I'm not expecting that there's going to be much snow, if any, up in that area. And actually really good weather this weekend. It's going to be in the 60s, high 60s, and at night it'll be in the low 40s with no rain forecasted, but I'll definitely plan for that because it's Colorado and you never know. But yeah, I thought I would take you along on what I'm packing in my pack these days for a 4-day trip. So let's start with my sleep system and the big 3. So my sleep system, I am using a Pneumo Tensor sleeping pad, wide regular. I used to sleep with a thinner, more narrow pad, but I noticed that I kind of like fall off it at night, and I really don't like that. And I wanted to have a more comfortable sleeping situation as I'm getting older. I also invested in a packed pillow for sleeping at night. I used to use my clothing bag on through hikes, but now I am upgrading to something a little bit more plush, and it really makes the difference for me. I love it. Last year I just switched to a Feathered Friends sleeping quilt. So it doesn't have a hood and it doesn't have a foot box. It's just one large rectangle. And this is the Flicker Ultralight Series sleeping quilt from Feathered Friends out of Seattle. I really decided to try out a quilt last year. I do backpack with my pug Finley, and when I had a mummy bag, I noticed when she would crawl in there and sleep on my side, it would pull all the down on this side, and that side would be cold. I also noticed I don't mummy up my bag often. I don't get that cold, so I am better at just like draping something over the top of me. I do well with that. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about the hood. So far when I've been backpacking with this quilt, I have been bringing a knit cap with me to keep my head warm at night. But I just invested in a new down coat from Feathered Friends that has a hood on it. So I'm going to start using this instead of bringing my knit cap, and just have my down coat as an added layer for the top of my head at night. If I don't want to wear that, I also bring a merino wool buff with me that I can also put over my head at night, which kind of solves that, mummy bag hood issue for me. And then I put my sleeping bag and just a Sea to Summit Sill stuff sack. My pack is waterproof, but I just never want to take a chance. I always think of my sleeping bag as my lifeline out there, so I want to keep it dry no matter what. Let's see, so that's the sleeping bag. Since I was just talking about my pack, I am rocking the Hyperlight Southwest. You can get these at REI. I just transitioned to one of these a couple years ago. I've packed with Gregory packs, I've packed with Osprey packs. I also had one other one I can't remember right now. The design was Mariposa, and I can't remember the company that makes that. But just switched over to this. I do like that it's waterproof. I don't have to carry a pack cover with me. It's very lightweight, so it cuts down on my pack weight. Yeah, and so far I've been really loving it. I think the only wish list I have on this pack, they make one that has like a stuff pocket underneath so you can reach it while you're hiking, and I wish I had that. But other than that, great pack. I really love it. This is my 3rd season with this pack so far, and it's really holding up. Okay, so that takes care of sleep system and the big 3. And my tent. So I did used to pack with single wall tents for a long time. I had a 6 Moon design tent up until last year. It did me well, and then some of the guy lines were breaking and the seams were breaking because it was just so old. I really, use my gear and really put it through the ringer. But I decided to go back to a double wall tent just for the comfort. I know it is more weight, but I'm willing to carry that. So on my first through hike on the Appalachian Trail, I hiked with the MSR Hubba. So I went back to an old classic, and I'm rocking an MSR Hubba, even though it is a little bit heavy. So I've got the new version of the MSR Hubba. I'm taking the weight down by not carrying any of the stuff sacks. So I've just got the tent body and the tent fly rolled up in a piece of Tyvek that I bought online from the Tarp Tent Company. They sell these made to size, or you can order a piece and cut it to the size of your tent. It's pretty durable and lighter weight than a footprint, but not as lightweight as some of the poly film that people use. But I did try a piece of that one year, and it things can puncture through it, and I just don't want to take chances with my inflatable sleeping pad and my sleeping bag, so I'm willing to carry the weight of the Tyvek. That's a nice compromise for me. I separate out my tent poles for the tent. The old tent that I had, the single wall tent, just pitched with my trekking poles, but I no longer pack with trekking poles, so I figured this was a nice trade. Since I'm not carrying the weight of trekking poles, I'll carry tent poles. So I can have a double wall tent. And then I carry 6 stakes. I just put a rubber band around them, and I just stuff that into my hip pocket or somewhere in that back water pouch in my bag so that it doesn't get lost and I know where they are. So that is my tent setup. Let's move on to clothing. Since we just talked about my down jacket, I won't talk about that. So I do bring one down layer. I usually only wear it at night around camp and in the mornings. If it's raining, I never take down layers out whatsoever. It's just too risky. It's so hard to dry these in the backcountry. During the day, I am wearing some Patagonia baggy shorts. I love these just because dirt doesn't seem to show up on them. I can sit everywhere on here and they never really look dingy. And they're holding up really well. It's a really great material. I love these. I've had these for 5 years now, I think. And they look brand new. They're amazing. Highly recommend the Patagonia baggy shorts. And then I'm rocking the REI sun hoodie. I usually buy a new one of these every year. So sun hoodie. I never used sun hoodies when I was on my through hikes. I just didn't think about it. I was kind of young and thought, I didn't worry about those things. I never wore sunblock. I never did sun hoodies. I always wore like tank tops and t-shirts. And as I'm getting into my 40s and kind of seeing the sun damage, I am really serious about trying to take care of sun being off my skin and wearing sunblock and just being more careful about that. So love the sun hoodie. I've really been digging that new change. Let's see, and then I just have a pair of Puma. I think I got these at Costco, just ankle socks. I don't buy any fancy socks anymore. I just don't see the use of it. I don't see the difference for myself. I've got an old pair of Lone Peak Ultra, Lone Peak 6s. I'm kind of wearing out the tread on these. These are almost at the end of their life, but they still have a little bit of life left in them. So I'm going to take these on my trip this weekend because it'll be a little bit warmer. So that's during the day. Also during the day, I've got my ball cap that I wear, and then throw my sun hoodie hood over the top of that. And if it does get chilly during the day, like I said, I don't like to pull out my down coat, so I've got an old Melanzana hoodie that's kind of still in pretty good shape. I like wearing these because you can zip up the hood kind of like a balaclava if it gets really cold. It's a light enough mid-layer that it's not, you can still hike in it in cooler conditions. This is a good layer. It's also a good one at night if I want to throw like a lightweight hood on, because my sleeping bag doesn't have a hood. And then I usually bring a more heavy-duty raincoat with me, but it's not supposed to rain this weekend, and if it does, it doesn't look like it's going to be anything major. So I'm just bringing a lightweight Patagonia kind of like rain wind layer. I used to use this when I was training for ultra running. It's still in good shape, and yeah, this is kind of my layer I bring out when it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of extreme rain conditions or snow or cold. Otherwise, I do bring a more heavy-duty raincoat out. So those are my during the day layers. And again, I've got this buff that I can wear with my ball cap if it is cold out, kind of like a knit hat, and still have my brim. Let's see, and then at night when I get into camp, you did see that I have my down jacket, and then I've got a couple lightweight layers. I know some people, when they're going ultralight, won't carry anything for in camp. I just like putting on a clean, dry pair of clothes, even if I'm not clean or dry, right? It's just like psychologically a little bit better for me. And I also hate when my legs stick together because they're so dirty and sweaty. I hate that. So I found a really lightweight pair of bottoms from Patagonia. I've had these for years, and they're feather thin, so they don't add like a ton of heat. But that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for clean and dry. And then I'm in my sleeping bag, which keeps me warm. And I've got the same thing. I don't even know what the brand of this shirt is. I've had this forever. It's just a lightweight t-shirt that I can put on, tech shirt that I can put on at night in my sleeping bag. And then I have this layered underneath my down jacket. And then I do carry a pair of smart wool socks that are thicker for at night, just to keep my feet warm. Yeah, and so that's my nighttime. I do carry a sports bra and an extra pair of underwear as well. I won't show that. And then also part of, not really clothing, but cloth, I carry a small pack towel. I do backpack with my pug, my dog Finley. So when it's cold, wet outside and we want to get into the tent, I can use this to kind of like wipe her off. She won't be totally dry, but at least she won't be dripping. And so that's why I carry that. I also carry this so if it is raining pretty hard and I'm bringing some moisture into my tent, I can kind of towel off the floor of the tent and kind of mitigate that with the towel. Okay, so that's all my clothing system. And then we will get into, and then I have a sil nylon stuff stack for some of my clothes. Not all of them, but some of them. Let's see, next, let's get into all of our little stuff. Let's see here. So, for during the day, I did show you that I had a sun hoodie and a ball cap for the sun. I also carry a pair of sunglasses, polarized sunglasses, with a case that I can put on my pack strap. I carry a small bottle of sunblock just for my face. I try to like cover everything else up with clothing. I always carry a little bit of bug spray, just because you never know, especially early season. This is in June. I carry a chapstick and a pocket knife. And electronics, I'm carrying an Anker. I think this is a 10,000 capacity external battery. I'll use this for my headlamp, for my phone, and for my camera. This is my first time doing a long trip with the camera, so I'm not sure how well this system will work, but I'm going to try it out. I usually don't need to charge my phone. I can get 4 days out of putting it on battery saver and not charging it, so hopefully this will just be for the camera. I don't carry a typical headlamp. I do carry just this little like pocket light that clips onto my hat. So I don't remember the brand of this. It's just a tiny pocket light, and I can also hang it from my tent as a lantern. It's tiny, it's lightweight. I don't really do night hiking, so I just don't see the point of having like a bulky headlamp. And I found out about this on Jupiter Hikes channel, and I thought that was a great idea. So I've been using this for a couple years, and it does a really great job. So I just have to be careful not to lose it because it's really tiny, so I always keep it in my bag with electronics. I've got a couple cords. This one is for my headlamp. This one's for my phone and camera battery, just little tiny cords. I do carry an old school pair of headphones that don't have to be recharged. They're not Bluetooth, just to help with the battery issue. And I just put this into my phone. I usually download books and podcasts to listen to at night. And that is my electronics, and all of this just goes into a Ziploc bag that I replace every few trips so that it's waterproof, and that keeps that organized. And then on the electronic front, also I'm carrying a Canon R50V camera, which I'm filming on right now, so I won't be able to show you that. It does have a microphone on it. And then I carry this little tripod to give it a little bit of height when I'm trying to film things. That may change in the future. I'm kind of new to this whole, YouTube filming thing, so we'll see as we go along how my kit changes, trying to continue being lightweight while also trying to capture some footage. And let's see, we'll go into water system next. So I do carry 2 smart water bottles. These are lighter weight than Nalgene. I only carry a Nalgene bottle if it's going to be, October and November. I'm doing like hikes, just so I have that extra reliability of being able to put boiling water into the Nalgene for extra warmth in case of emergencies. But summertime, I'm not too worried about that because of all my layers in my system. So I carry 2 smart water bottles. I put those on my side hip pockets so I can grab them while I'm walking. I usually don't need to take my pack off. And then for in camp and some extra water capacity, I carry a bladder bag. This is by the company Platypus. It's just 2 liters. So total capacity that I have to carry is 4 liters on a regular trip. I don't use a filter. I did back in the day, and they would always break on me. I haven't had great luck with them. They clog. They're just, for me, they're a big pain. So I do use just unconcentrated, unscented bleach, and I put that into a little eyedropper bottle clearly marked as bleach, and I keep that in a Ziploc bag, and I put that into my hip pocket. Yeah, and I know like a lot of people are concerned with bleach in their water and what's that do to your body. I do this so infrequently, I'm not too worried about it. And then I also think about tap water has chlorine in it, so you're getting a fair amount of that even when you're at home if you drink tap water. So I'm not too worried about my exposure. I think if you want the cleanest possible water, a filter really is the way to go, but you can't beat the weight savings and also mechanical failure protection of just carrying a bottle of bleach. I've done this for years. I learned it on my first thru hike, and every thru hike since then I've always carried this. Let's see, so that's all of that system. As far as cooking, I carry a Toaks titanium cook pot. This is the 900 milliliter. I got rid of the stuff sack on this. I just use a produce rubber band to keep the lid on. Inside I have a pocket rocket and a little pack towel. I've had this pocket rocket cook stove. It is triple crowned with me and beyond. I've had this for so many years. It is such an amazing piece of equipment. I know they have like lighter weight ones out there, but I'm of the mindset if it's not broken, why fix it? Love this little pack stove I've had forever. And then I've got a lighter to go with that. So that's what sits in my cook pot. Again, all of that tidied up with one of those thick produce rubber bands you can get on broccoli. I love using these for gear. I've got one on my tent. I just use a produce band for that so I don't have to carry the weight of the stuff sack. I have a Toaks titanium coffee cup. I drink coffee in the morning. My titanium spoon, also by the company Toaks. I like the long ones so that I can like kind of get into the pot without getting food on my fingers and knuckles. And then I am carrying a Snow Peak 4-ounce propane gas stove for cooking with. So there's that. I think, yeah, so also, and the little stuff, yeah, so I've got my mess kit here. So I've got a little bottle of hand sanitizer, I've got toilet paper, and I've got wet ones for cleaning up a little bit extra while you're in the backcountry. And then I carry one of these Deuce of Spades lightweight trowels. It's like a titanium trowel. Just got one of these, less than an ounce. It's amazing. Let's see. I carry a Ziploc bag for my camera. If it starts raining, I can kind of tuck it in there pretty quickly and have some extra protection for that. And then I always carry the map for the area that I'm going into. So I do use the Gaia app to navigate by, but I always believe that you should have a hard copy. Okay, let's move on to food. So if you follow me on my channel, you know the last video I posted is exercise intolerance while backpacking. So I have an autoimmune condition that I use dietary and lifestyle interventions to help manage along with medication. So some of my food is specific to that. So yeah, I am going out on a 4-day trip, as I said. So I'm packed for 4 days. So let's start with my breakfast. So I'm carrying this keto granola that I got from Costco. And just put it in individual bags. I do mix coconut milk with that. So I just have a little Ziploc of coconut milk and some collagen to give it some more protein. So that's in my morning. I also drink coffee in the morning. So I've just got this instant coffee. This is Starbucks. You can buy it in bulk, and I do that on Amazon and then package my own how much I want with it. It's cheaper that way. And then I've got a Layer superfood creamer that I get from Costco. This is just coconut milk and coconut sugar, and those are the only ingredients. So that's coffee in the morning. During the day while I'm hiking, I kind of change up my lunches depending on how I'm feeling, but this time I am carrying with me the grass-fed beef sticks from Costco. I've got a couple of these per day. You can see I've got about 8 here for my trip. I am bringing some Organic Valley mozzarella sticks for my lunch as well. And then I've got my 2 full days on trail. So I'm bringing the Bare Bones instant bone broth. It's just some added protein. I'll cook that up and just drink it as like a broth for my lunch break on the days that we're waking up and going to sleep on trail. So that's lunch. Snacking throughout the day, I do carry the RX bars. Love these. They're very simple ingredients, as you can see in the front. Their whole shtick is no BS, so it's just egg whites, almonds, cashews, and dates. So really clean product there. I love them. I'm carrying 4 of those, 1 per day. What else do I have here? Oh, and then during the day, I've been really digging LMNT. So that company, if you've not heard about it, it's really clean ingredients. They don't have any fillers, which is really good for someone with an autoimmune condition. It's just an electrolyte drink mix. It's got sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and that's it. You know, maybe some flavoring stuff in there, but it's pretty clean, and I like having these to like help support my body, like with the exercise intolerance. So I drink 1 of those per day. Oh, and then also for snacks, I love this company, Siete. The owner of this company actually has an autoimmune condition and started this company. So it's made with avocado oil, so it's no inflammatory seed oils, which is better for people with autoimmune conditions. It's just a really great company, really clean ingredients. Like you can recognize everything on the package. So I got a couple of those. I don't typically eat chips, but while I'm on trail, I like to have like a little like fun snack. So I've got the Chipotle barbecue ones, and then the spicy dill pickle, which looks so good. And so that's snacks and lunch during the day. At night when I get into camp, I am making the banza, which is a chickpea pasta, which adds some protein to your meal. So it's a chickpea pasta, mac and cheese. I don't know how clean the ingredients are in the flavor packet. I kind of just make a concession for that because I like mac and cheese on trail, and that's like a gluten-free, higher protein mac and cheese that I've found. And then I get the Star Kiss extra virgin olive oil tuna packets. I order these on Amazon. As you know, the only ingredients in here are tuna, extra virgin olive oil, and sea salt, so you don't get all those added ingredients, which can be problematic for people with autoimmune conditions. And so that's my dinner, and I've got 3 of those. And then also Finley, my dog Finley is coming with me, so I bring dog food with me, and I bring like double, triple the amount that she eats just in case. She does eat extra out there, so I just want to make sure I have enough food for her. We always do end up with a little bit extra. I've got a little tablespoon in here for measure, and then I just carry like an old sour cream bowl for water and food for her, just because it's lightweight. This is the bag that I have for it. I think it's the Mountain Hardware. It's just like a sil nylon bag, super lightweight. I like that it opens at the top. That way I can see all of my food and I'm not digging down to the depths of it to try to find things. So all my food goes into that. And then I also keep my medical kit inside my food bag so it doesn't get lost. My food bag's usually at the top of my pack, so I can get to it easily. In my medical kit, I've got, you know, some allergy medications, I've got pain medications, and then just my normal medications that I take. I've got my toothbrush and toothpaste in here. I've got Band-Aids, Neosporin. Let's see, I've got some eyedroppers in here, and then I also carry a patch kit for all of my equipment. And yeah, so that's pretty much it on my medical kit. And I think that's it. That's everything on my food. Oh, and I carry a bear line. So we do live in bear country. I don't always hang my food. I kind of, you know, consider what I'm seeing on trail the day that I'm hiking in, or what I'm hearing locally. And this year I've actually been hearing about a lot of bear activity in Colorado. So I always carry my bear line no matter what, but I am intending to hang my food on this trip just because why take a chance with that? So again, I don't typically hang, went many through hikes without hanging my food because it was never an issue, but again, you know, it seems like wildlife is a little bit more out this year, so I am going to be using my bear line this year. So that's everything I'm going to be carrying on a 4-day wilderness trip here in Colorado. My pack weight came in at 28 pounds exactly with everything, 2 liters of water and 4 days of food. I always like to weigh with that so I know whole picture what my pack weight is, not just base weight. Yeah, and so that's everything I'm carrying in my kit right now. Stay tuned for future videos. If my kit changes at all, I can let you know what I'm adjusting. But after, you know, 3 through hikes and, you know, decades of doing backpacking, this is where I've landed today with my equipment. Stay tuned for future videos. I will be filming on my flat top trip, so if you'd like to see that video in the future, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out, and please like this video and share with your friends if you think they'd be interested in that. All right, I'll see you all at the next one. Bye.